Nothing. Yeah. I don't know. I like the ambience it creates.
All right, I think we are back. Sorry about that. Okay, so we'll pick it up. You guys, this is the marker that shows where you are. So this is exactly where you are, and you've made camp. You made camp for the evening, I believe. We already had a conversation with RIme and Tardok, but I believe Stello, you had some other questions you wished to ask.
Yes. Am I conversing with Tarok now?
Yes, you. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Evening or morning. Yeah. See. So, I have some questions, dear teacher.
Yes.
Have you heard any rumors about Oriel? Do you know? Have you seen her? You might know where she has her base or where she holds up, and why she would was this winter.
Fortunately, I am just as much in the dark as you are. I know as much as you do. She's seems to have cursed this place with an endless winter. We all know she is fond of the cold, but nothing like this before. I wish I could be of more use, Stello, but unfortunately the ways of Oriel are a mystery to me as much as the next person. I'm not sure how this will end, but it must end. Otherwise it will surely be the end of 10 towns as we know it. I might ask you though, Stello, have you gathered any information about what this madness might be about?
Not really. Well, we have some clues, but we don't know if they're connected. There is this strange metallic shard, and the Dwargar are on the move in the spine of the world, but and also this case with the Summer Star, but we do not know if it's connected or. Well, we did have a run-in with the Frostmaiden. She scared away a white dragon that was, in the process of deciding if it was going to eat us or not. So
Count yourself lucky. The white dragon that roams these land is no friend of humans. That's for sure. She's a vicious animal.
Yes. She might be looking for us. So I try to
Her
avoid
name,
her.
by the way, is Arve Achuras. Arve Achuras. I'll put that in chat, including the pronunciation, because spelling it's hard, but that's how you pronounce it. Yes, I think Theodore, the rest of you would be present at this conversation. I know that maybe you wanted some time alone with RIme and Tardok Stello, but not quite yet.
I can do a private question later.
Cool. There's Arve Achuras. Stay well clear of her. Though, she is old, and if you do find her, I suggest you keep her distance, which is obvious, I guess, but she has... rumor has it that her eyes are quite bad, and she's not seeing too well. So, if you do find yourself in an encounter with Aventuras, maybe that's some information that you can use to your advantage.
I will definitely remember that.
What of her rider?
Many, many centuries ago, a famous wizard managed to tame Ayavechuras, and they became great friends. Next time you see her, which I hope is not for a long time, look closely, and you'll see the rider in her back does not move. Their bond was so close that Ayavechura still carries her rider around, even though he is long dead. So merely an ornament, as it were.
Is it a weakness we could perhaps exploit?
Yes, the short-sighted night for sure.
Indeed. Well, it's interesting. I didn't know you had saved my dear friend here, Garrosh. It's great to see we still have the same teacher of sorts.
Or teacher, and more like someone who saved him from certain deaths. Slightly different roles, but regardless, it is both great to see both Garrosh and Stello.
Yes. I had some questions about a Sky Tower shelter in my home place, Goliath home place. Have you been close these months and year?
I
Do you
have
know anything?
Yes, I have visited it a few times, and both encampments, both Skywood Shelter and the Wormdune clan. And as you're no doubt going to be surprised, they are as hard-headed as ever, still butting heads. I mean, as you know, Stello, this all goes back to many summers ago, when the children of Skytown and Wormdune challenged each other to a game of goat ball, which is a great tradition amongst both of your clans. But that is unfortunately, as you know, pretty much all they agree on. Your clan claims, and I've no question to doubt that one of the children of Wormdune clan, angered at being knocked off a perch, threw the ball at one of your griffins and struck it on the head. And griffins, temperamental beasts as they were, lashed out at the child. Didn't kill it, but just wounded her a little bit, enough to be patched up by a cleric. And the game was called off. Everybody was angry. And according to your clan, days later, the hunters from Wormdune claimed our mountain and slew the griffin in its nest. And as you know, that is a grave insult, griffins being so precious to our clan. Of course, the Wormwood story is somewhat different. They say when one of their children tried to fetch the ball, the griffin went berserk and grievously wounded her. So you say provoked, they say unprovoked. And they claim that the griffin was hungry for the children's flesh, having got a taste for it, and the griffin haunted Wormwood for days, and the hunters were forced to kill it to protect the child. So 2 different instances, 2 different explanations, but the 2 clans have been opposed ever since. I'm sure this is all familiar to you, Stello.
Yes, a bunch of idiots can't see beyond.
Yes. And it gets worse, because Arn Rockfist of Sky Tower will refuse to meet Ogilai from the Wormdune clan anywhere but Sky Tower, and vice versa. And of course, both would never ever meet in the other village. Though I have been talking to people, and I see 2 possible ways that have come to light. And maybe if you find yourself back in the spine of the world, maybe this is something you can look at, Stella. But as you know, Arn, great leader though she may be, is incredibly hard-headed. But she is married, and her mother-in-law, someone called Kaina Aka Stormcrow, blind though she is the only person who holds any sway in the clan, apart from Arn herself. So, if you're ever there, I suggest you at least turn to her blind grandmother, Kanaka Stormcrow. So, have a look. And I've also spent some time in the Wormdune Crag clan. Now, rather strangely, there is an Aarakocra, those great flying humanoids. And apparently it crashed and broke one of its wings. Its name was Thicky Cree, an Aarakocra. And for some reason, not this is necessarily against the clan's belief, but they've helped her, they've helped mend her wounds, but she still cannot fly. Why they care for Syracuse is beyond me. But perhaps that is some sort of way to catch sway with Ogilay. I mean, Aaron and Ogilay, both of them, could have been sisters in a different life, but stubborn as always. So that's what I've heard about your clan. You're far away from there at the moment, but if you find yourself back in Sky Tower Shelter, maybe you can use this information to bring the clans together.
I would try to find some way to mend the bad blood or conflict between our clans, but all because of a game ball.
And just as an aside, speaking as a DM, Goat Ball sounds a bit funny, and it is kind of a bit funny, but it's a very kind of sacred old game that the Goliaths played up in there. So it's not just some goof around game. It's like taken quite seriously in the same way that New Zealanders take rugby serious, in the same way that Canadians take ice hockey serious. So it's a funny name, but it is taken seriously.
Thank you for the information. It's definitely going to come in handy if we're in the spine of the world. And one final question. I need to ask this in private, guys, if you understand. It's a bit personal. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay, so with that, Iron Man Tardok leaves a distance away that you couldn't overhear them. Of course, if somebody wants to do something surreptitious, now would be the time to say. So, Garage, Stax, Theodore, you listening in? Or...
No, I'll give him his privacy.
No, just like last time. I'll give him privacy.
Alright, so we'll briefly jump over to the other voice channel, and I'll see you there, Stello. So what is it, Stello? What would you like to know?
Well, it's concerning my brother. I've told you before about this and my guilt as to his final fate. Have you seen Malthok, my brother? I'm haunted in my dreams that he's somehow survived the fall into the ravine, and well, that he's after me, and I would like for him to be alive, but...
No, this is something you're going to have to deal with at some point. You either had to come to terms with what you did, or by some miracle of lives, some way to reconcile. But to answer your question, though, I have not seen your brother. It might be that he died while falling down the cliff. That's the most simplest of explanations. But once you told me that dark secret, I've actually searched the ravine many times, and I found no trace of a Goliath. It might be that a creature feasted on his corpse. I mean, not so much when he fell, but in recent times, food is scarce, but animals are hungry all the time, so it might have been that a creature feasted on his corpse. Or maybe, just maybe, he survived. All I can tell you for sure is that he's not in the ravine, and he's not at Sky Tower Shelter, or for that matter, Wormdoom Crag.
No. That is disconcerting, but it's kind of dualistic. I want him to be alive, but it's kind of like, yeah, I fear he's after me, but it's been so many years, 50, almost 55, I no longer keep count. But I just hope his grudge hasn't stayed with him all these years.
I think the simplest explanation is that his corpse was eaten by animal. That's the most simple one, but of course... there is a slight worry in the back of my mind And I agree with you, a slight worry and a slight hope, all at the same time, that perhaps Malthok survived the fall somehow.
Well, it's good to know at least. I will deal with what happens when it happens. And if I can.
I wish I could bring you more than uncertainty, but that's all I can offer, unfortunately.
It's more than enough, and I will have to think of my words if I ever see him again.
Very good, Stello. And just as an aside, I'll edit this out of the audio when I upload it to YouTube.
It's okay.
Oh, okay, well, if you're not worried about it, then that's fine. It saves me some editing.
Yeah.
So, unless there's any other more questions, we can jump back over.
Yeah, we can jump back.
Okay. So Stello and Oyaman Tardok, this owl, this werebear of sorts, returns to the camp.
He returns where? To the camp?
Yeah, just returns back. So they return back. You can talk to them if you like. You're all together again.
Oh, to our camp. I thought he went back to his camp, wherever it is. Okay.
No, that's a good 2 weeks journey away, something like that.
Yeah,
they just left where you're resting to have a private conversation. They've returned. Yeah.
I check both of them for hickeys.
No.
I'm sorry for the secrecy, friends. When the time is right, I will tell you of it.
No worries. We all have our little secrets, I guess. Doesn't hurt to have some.
While it was nice seeing you both, Garrosh and Stello, again, pleasure to meet you, Theodore and Stax. I too have my own errands to see to. So unless we have any more questions that I can help you with, I need to be on my way.
Do you need anything? Any supplies or anything else?
Thank you for the offer, but I'm not sure if 10 towns will survive this, but I will survive. I will be fine. But thank you for the offer.
And thank you for the assist in the fight.
My pleasure, and of course we will see each other again, for sure.
I count on it, teacher. And may the stars guide you. I know they're not shining down on us, and it's hard to navigate these days, but yes, may the stars nonetheless be with you on your journeys.
And you too. For that, Oyaman Tardok gets off, and before long he has disappeared into the snow out of sight.
What time of day is it at the moment?
Daybreak.
Oh, it's morning. Did we take a rest?
Yep, consider yourself long rested.
Yeah, actually, I would use the time to rebuild Snuggles.
Okay, let me just drag you back here briefly so you have access to Snuggles token. I'll let you do whatever you need to do.
Nothing. I just if he gets full health back.
Oh, okay, there we go. Done. Okay, so with that, you continue your way west in search of Angajuk's Bell. Of course, your companion is with you, the whale, if you remember, the town speaker from Bryn Shander. While you give him that cauldron that is effectively feeding the city, though causing other problems as well, as you said, they're also incredibly short of whale oil. So this whale orchard, you're going to Angajuk's Bell over here to request that the whale, to apparently transport people over to an iceberg over here where there's some whalers both trapped and have the whale oil in their possession. If you remember, the whale oil merchant also warned, don't tell the whale that we're getting whale oil. That they tend to take that stuff personally. So he suggested that you just mention it as fish oil. But regardless, that's ahead of you. But you mount up on your axe beaks and continue your way west, more or less heading towards Angajuk's Bell. As you're heading west, huddled down, the wind whipping around your face, trying desperately to cover everything apart from your eyes. You've seen the effects of frostbites around town and people with burnt cheeks, lost ears, lost noses even. It's not pleasant. But so far you guys have not had the worst of frostbite. And today is merely a terrible day, which by Icewind Dale standards is pretty good. The wind is whistling, the snow is howling, but at least the deadly blizzards haven't arrived. But off in the distance, you do see only about half an hour or so after you set off, you see off the distance a group of figures. About, you're not sure from this distance, but there's a significant number, and they all seem to be huddled around a campfire. What do you do?
I check to see if they're kobolds, to see if I have to keep Garrosh away.
Or we just have to kill them.
Well, mate. First roll of the new year. Make me a perception check. Set the tone for the year. No pressure though. See if they're kobolds. It's above average. They're too big to be kobolds. Very hard to tell at this distance. Beyond that, because they're covered in furs. But not kobolds. Okay. Not short people. Wouldn't be a halfling, for example, or a gnome, for that matter.
Are we going in friendly, or are we just going around them? Shall I sneak up on them? What are we going to do?
Let's just go. We want to use the bell. So what?
It can't be bandits so far in the middle of the wasteland, could there?
I mean, if everyone out here is a bandit, then we are bandits too.
Yeah.
Let's just give them a benefit of a doubt.
Last time we met merchants, we killed them. Actually.
Well, they started it.
They were mass murdering by merchants. It's a bit of a different story, but okay.
Maybe we're just working on establishing a merchant guild, and we're destroying the competition.
Wondering what the new player is thinking of you guys massacring merchants, but
well,
the
very
merchants.
friendly, non-murder hobo group of adventurers. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
And just for context, the one of the people in the merchants was literally killing people all over the 10 towns. So it wasn't just attacking merchants for a few arrows or something like that. Okay, but you're going to be approaching the camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Sure.
Okay, so approach the camp. There's as you get closer, you see... Oh, I'll tell you what you see. You see this. So there's a bunch of people. They're all humans. But there is one dwarf there as well. And they're all huddled around this campfire, just keeping warm. They're looking as if about their leave for the day. Yeah, what do you guys do?
Dismount my axe beak and keep it close.
Mm-hmm.
How deep's the snow at the moment?
It's kind of deep, like on a human. about shin level, about halfway up your shin, so 6 inches or so.
I'll stay on the eggs beak.
Okay.
No problems. I guess I'll yell out, "Hey there, friends!"
Hi, says this person here wearing the bear skins. Something we can help you with?
Nothing. We just saw fire and we thought we would check it out if anything is going on. But everything looks okay. Would you mind if we join you for a bit?
Please gather around the fire. These are harsh times, and quite frankly, it's nice that someone just didn't right out come and kill us. So please share the fire with us.
I say, yes, it is, isn't it? And I look at Garrosh sideways. And I'll move closer.
Okay.
Well met, friends.
Well met.
Are you, by any chance, fellow adventurers, or do you have any other reason for being here? Not that I'm prying. You don't need to answer anything, of course.
Well, often the best explanations are the most simple. We are just simple hunters out here hunting what we can in the hope to feed our families, and if we're successful in our hunt, maybe we can sell some back in one of the 10 towns. But just simple hunters.
Oh,
Could I look around the camp to see if that statement would comply with the equipment they're wearing and any...
You can. I think that would be a survival check, though, to see if the implements that they have match the story that they're telling. So survival. Yes. The way they're dressed, the implements they have, like you see skinning tools, you see hunting tools, and the skinning tools have definitely been used more than once, so that they seem genuine.
Okay.
The only person really out of place is the dwarf that's sitting here. And tell me, what does that dwarf look like? What does Current look like?
So you're seeing about a 5 foot high dwarf. Quite old for a dwarf in his mid ages. Has basically big bright forehead where he has no hair left. Otherwise, it's bundled into it's bundled up, and quite a long beard, green eyed, and he is basically staring into a big giant toe currently and writing in there at the fireside. And he sees you guys approaching, he basically just slaps together the book and puts it aside, making a little bit space for the newcomers.
Thank you, Master Dwarf. May I ask what clan you belong to? I've namely spent quite a few years learning my craft with the Stonehand dwarves near Daggerfall.
I'm here to steal dwarven artifacts. And you see he's going a little bit to his dagger. He's having on his waist. Are you trying to steal dwarven artifacts?
No, I'm looking for interesting artifacts. I'm not gonna deny it, but not here to steal anything. What's yours is yours.
Stone Clan. Probably haven't heard of it. It's scavenged around the entire known world.
I can't say I have heard of that clan. Might be interesting to hear more about it, if we spend any time together at this campfire, of course.
we'll see. But keep your little gnomish finger away from my tool.
No worries there. They're short anyway. They can't get far.
And while we're here, just so we can get familiar, why don't Theodore explain what Theodore looks like? We'll go around the table so Kern can get familiar.
Theodore is like an elderly gnome, not old, but in his middle age, I guess. He's got a few contraptions on his body, some strange devices, little clockwork mechanisms, a large backpack on his back, and some glasses that he sometimes uses when he's tinkering around. You can see a lot of tools on his belt and stuff. He's basically an artificer.
Okay, and Garrosh. Oh, no, sorry, I take it back. Snuggles, what's this weird creature following Theodore around?
Yeah, behind him you see like a metal scorpion that has no problem traversing the ice and the snow with his 8 legs, and he's got a giant pincer on the back. And on the scorpion there's a bush holding on for dear life, and basically the Snuggles is my steel defender.
And yes, there is a tree riding on Snuggles.
Yeah.
Maybe that will... That's a weird story. And Garrosh.
Yeah, so Garrosh is approximately the same height as Goliath. He's a green half-orc with a huge greatsword. And if you could see it, he would have like messy hair, but he's got a furs all over, so you can't really see it. And yeah, he's got like a big build, and it looks like pretty. He's just nice. he's not very handsome. I'd say he's like a huge fighter, but what can I say?
Okay.
His armor is like scratched and stuff used.
And the rather large gentleman, Stello.
Well, he's really, really old Goliath. He's about 7.5 feet tall, around 220 centimeters, but his back is a bit crooked, so he stoops a bit. Leans on his staff, made of pine wood. His right eye has been gouged out, so it's just one eye. His left eye is like black with a little white star-like iris. And he's covered in a mixture of reindeer and walrus skins. He has this grandfatherly look to him, a bit of tattoos on his bodies, and no hair like other Goliaths.
Finally, Stax.
Stax looks probably most like the other hunters that are in the group. She carries a bow on her back, small rapier on her side. She's dressed in slightly colored green clothing, brownish. She's very young for an elf, although she does have quite some scars around her face and ears, mostly from frostbite. You can easily see it. There are some chunks removed from her ears because they've been exposed Otherwise, you'll notice that she's probably hanging back a bit and just has eyes that are darting around, trying to take everything in.
And I haven't really noticed this before, but everybody in the group is at least middle-aged, if not older, except for Stax. Stax is almost the kid of the group.
In elven years, Stax isn't even an adult.
Yeah, but yeah, elf ears are...
Then again,
I said elven ears are weird. That's also true. But I was trying to say elven years are weird, right? Because you're
yeah,
probably
she's
older
still
than
80
everybody.
years old.
Yeah, 80 years old, right? So she's older, but
Yeah,
younger, I guess, developmentally. So
yeah. It's a 80-year-old kid.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Okay, so that's what everybody looks like. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of context. And the person, she says, well, I mean, we're out here hunting. What are you guys doing out here? This is no place for the casual townsfolk. What are you out here for?
Oh, little requisitions task we have for Brain Chandler. Just looking for some missing fishermen.
Oh, how do you plan to get to the missing fishermen? Do you have a boat?
We're on our way to Angajuk's bell, and hopefully we can convince him, her, to be honest, I don't know, to give us a lift. I'm not sure if you've heard of this place, this creature.
We've heard of Angajuk. We haven't been there ourselves, but we know she's been here for hundreds of years. Some talk of her as a bit of a legend, but others sworn they have seen her. So, I wish you luck. I need to warn you about something, though. We have seen a lot of ice trolls are wandering these lands. Are you familiar with the ice trolls at all?
Are they similar to the Yeti?
I'll put it this way, in a cold night, I would prefer a Yeti to invade my camp than an ice troll. They're truly dangerous beasts. Even
Do you have any advice on how to...
Run! Run. I mean, just being... I've seen people try and take on the ice troll and they've rushed up, and even before we got there, we saw the frost forming around their arms, their eyes. So even being close to an ice troll will freeze your bones. So if you see one, I suggest you just run.
I would try it. I still can
Sorry.
stand against me.
You're pretty strong, Garrosh.
But Garrosh, do you remember the time we fought the skeleton of a frost giant?
And we won. We are all here. Nobody died.
But
So
it was a close call. And we had a talk afterwards. Sometimes it's better to run. Sometimes it's better to listen.
oh, come on. Anyway, we are not going to search for a troll. Why would we do it? And if it comes to you, well, I doubt you'd be able to run far from it in the snow anyway.
True, but I'd rather not leave you behind as bait.
Yeah, the young elf speaks wisely. Ice trolls are truly fearsome beasts. But if you're foolhardy enough to attack, or lucky enough to survive, tell me, do you know how you can gain trolls' power for a day? Have you heard the rumors?
No. Enlighten us.
Rumor has it that, and some people have sworn by this, that if you eat the heart of an ice troll, you gain the troll's power for a day. But, and I cannot emphasize this enough, you must eat the entire heart.
At this point, Stack just sighs really deeply. Dude, you're not helping.
Well, let me
Are
give
we
you
allowed to cook it?
raw.
Raw.
Eat the troll ice hole's heart raw. No cooking, no seasoning, no spices. Just eat the damn heart.
No hot sauce? Ugh.
I've heard of tribes where coming of age you have to eat a whole heart of horse, and it's like huge. Imagine like just chewing it. Oh my, it's not.
An ice
It's
troll
not
is
a
at
real
least the
heart.
size of a horse, so
It's terrible.
That's going to fill your belly at least.
Well, you I mean, it's like these bets, you know, when someone bets you, if you eat this huge bowl of food, you get it for free, and then you try it, and then you regret it. So don't do it.
it's just impossible. Too much food.
And
For example, pizza. If you,
Do these trolls, I know normal trolls might. My teacher taught me they have some weakness to, I think, fire. But do these ice trolls have any such weaknesses?
Well, many creatures who wander these plains are prone to fire. I mean, if you grow up and this climate is well suited to you, then try fire. I don't see any harm. It's worth a go. Once again, my advice is to run. And if you can't run, God's sake, at least keep your distance from the beast. One more piece of advice as well. As you seem like good folk. If you see a cloaked elf with charcoal-colored skin, purple eyes, and a pair of gleaming scimitars, for the love of Sune, don't attack him! As a pop quiz, who is this hunter talking about? Does anybody know?
Drist.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of the stories of Drizzt was done here in the 10 Towns, so this is kind of...
I'm reading them. I'm at book 6, I think.
Oh, cool. So it's a bit of an homage to Drizzt's little clue.
nice.
Does it have a panther?
I've seen no panther.
This elf, is he, you said charcoal skin, is he one of the Underdark dwelling elves?
Yes, a drow for sure.
Aren't they slavers?
Many of them are.
Stories, we should avoid them.
Many of them are. We've heard stories of this dark elf, and he seems to be the exception to the rule. But as you know, Icewind Dale and the 10 Towns are a place where the lost can go and not be discovered, as it were. They can hide out here. Many people who choose to escape their past turn up here. So I have seen some drow around town, but like everybody else around the towns, no questions asked.
Yeah, he might have some good advice on how to deal with the Dwergar to the south, perhaps.
Maybe. What have you heard of the Duergar? What are the Duergar up to?
Oh, we've heard of them. Yeah.
Basically, dwarves, but without none of the joy in life. I think that sums it up.
Yes,
And no offense, Matterdorf.
Yeah, I know what Duergar are. I was asking what the Duergar are up to.
No good.
they have been spotted around some 10 towns sneaking about. I'm not sure what their end goal is, though.
I know they follow a leader named Sardarok Sunblight.
So I assuming they've just been raiding the town for gold and supplies, things like that?
Might be something more, but we do not know yet.
Oh, thanks for the heads up on the Duragar. We don't see a lot of them, but can't be up to any good. Anyway, we have some hunting to get to.
Folks, you
At
said
this point, I look to Kern and say, "You don't look like a hunter to me. Most hunters, first of all, don't read."
Kern looking a little bit left and right to the hunters doing their business. I suppose. I've heard you guys are on the search for Angayuk.
Well, that's our immediate goal. True.
I have my own reasons to find him. So I don't want, but I've noticed this landscape is very dangerous and unforgiving. And I know my limitations. I need a group to find him.
May I ask what your intentions are with Angajuk?
I got a tip off by one of my kinsmen that Angajuk might lead me to something my clan is looking for. An artifact. And I'm here to find it.
All right. Not at this point. I'll look to the rest of the group and do we want someone extra?
I'll shrug my shoulders and say, strength in numbers. Doesn't hurt to have one more.
Indeed. This he reminds me of a dear friend who lived in the keep, Edwin. You are a learned man, Mr. Curtin. But not to the tomb.
Again, please.
You said you look like a learned man, and I nod to your tone.
I'm a history keeper of my clan.
Prestigious position, indeed.
Kern takes goes up to the basically 2 feet taller than him. Goliath takes the good berry from him and gives him a bit of beer from his little keg he has.
Thank you. This is great.
You are the only one I seem to can trust. I don't trust the long ear. I have my kinsmen fought many battles in ages past against this folk, pointing at Garrosh. And this guy shows at the gnome. I think he stole dwarvish engineering gear, pointing at the little scorpion.
Don't worry, that is completely his own make. And you'll see they are not the thieves and fiends of old that you might think. They are trustworthy people. I trust them with my very life.
You say so, big friend.
Do not worry, you will warm to them soon enough.
Kern goes to the huntsman. Thank for me that I could stay with you there. And I pour the last bit of ale from my keg into a cup for the hunter, and as a parting gift.
Okay, the hunters gratefully accept it, and they kind of share it around and say, "Oh, we've missed this. What I wouldn't give for a warm warm glass of honeymead, though. As we know, supplies have run dry in honeymead. But thank you, Curran. May you travel safely in these cold times, and let's hope more Sune's presence will be felt again as opposed to Oriel's. But thank you, Curran. And with that, the hunters gather up their supplies and head off for the hunt.
While they're packing, I'll just poke at Garrosh and should we give them some honeymead? I'll whisper so they don't hear.
Not. Let's share, and I'll have some as well.
And I'll take off my backpack and open it. And Garrosh, would you mind taking it out? It's too heavy for me.
I reach inside and I use my great strength only to chop kobolds apart and pick up this huge barrel of honeymead. Right?
Well, something you notice, Curran, is the gnome, Theodore, has got a backpack on his back. Just a normal sized backpack. It's slightly big for a gnome, but still a backpack. And Garrosh pulls out an entire barrel of what you assume is ale or mead or some sort from this. And it is far too big for the backpack. Like Garrosh reaches in and it just stretches at the neck of the backpack and he pulls it out. And it's far too big to fit in the backpack. But from the backpack, it emerges nevertheless.
And the weird thing is, Theodore can easily carry it, but he can't take it out of the backpack.
And
Right.
I lay it in the snow with a thumb, and I call friends. Let us drink to this nice meeting, and to have luck in our endeavors.
What is that, friend? Is that ale?
It's honeymead, the best one.
And with that, they all perk up and says, well, let's heat it up then. And I assume Garrosh hands out honeymead and they kind of put it in a big cooking pot and they start warming it up. And they're very thankful. They're just overblown with the generosity of Garrosh / Theodore. And they hand out the honeymead. And as always, it is delicious. It's an alcohol, maybe about 10%, something like that. So it's not over the top, but it's warm, it's sweet, and it warms you from the inside. Do you partake in the honeymead, Curran?
Curran suspiciously looks first at the backpack. I'll let that work.
Oh, it is part magic, part engineering. It's a lot more spacious on the inside than it is on the outside, and it enables me to carry a lot more gear than I otherwise could, because I'm small and not very strong. So this is kind of a lifesaver for me.
Back in my days, we have to pack it up and take it with us.
Oh, I had to as well for a long time, and I'm so happy I have this, because it saves so much time and energy, especially here where every ounce of energy is so important.
And believe me, it's so great to have a whole barrel of honeymead wherever you go.
Yep. And gentlemen, if any of you by any chance has an empty water skin, we can fill it up with honeymead for your future travels.
Oh, well, that would be very much appreciated, as much as you can spare.
Plenty. Just give us the water skins and we'll fill them.
Okay,
I guess we don't even keep track, right? We have just so much that...
Not an infinite supply.
We have a 400-pound barrel. Do you know how much that is? That's 200 liters at least of honeymead.
It is a lot, it is true. But they do fill up their water skins. And one thing you've noticed about this as well is other times you've had it out, honeymead has a unique property that it doesn't freeze. So that is also a very useful property of honeymead. It doesn't freeze. So whatever the freezing point is, it's below the minus 40 degrees Celsius that you typically live in. But they fill up their their water skins, and they profusely thank you once again. And they give you a nod. I go up to shake Kern's hand. Does Kern return the shake?
And he basically, just return firm shake, shaking the hand firmly, standing upright, chest out.
All right.
What else? Still.
Toast to new adventures. Meister.
A toast to the end of the winter.
Huzzah!
Okay. So with that, the hunters leave. Go about trying to get by as everybody else is in this vile land, and you're off again. With a new companion, a dwarf called Kern. And by the way, just as an aside, I like it how Kern didn't really trust you guys. Why would Kern, right? Often when new party members come in, it's like your age-old buddies. So I liked how Kern didn't really get on with you, but is with you anyway. So well done. I enjoyed that. That was good. So you guys are all riding on X-Beaks. Let me see if I can find you a picture, Kern, what an X-Beak looks like. This is what an X-Beak looks like. It's kind of the best way to travel around Icewind Dale. You have a slight problem in that Kern doesn't have an X-Beak.
But we have one to spare, because we had one for our mummified friend as well, I believe. Okay,
that is true. So you see everybody jump up on these beasts. They're foul-tempered beasts. They squawk, and even you getting close to them, they kind of take a pick at you, and they do hit. Doesn't do any damage, but you see the rest of them kind of shrug. This is little mistempered X-Beak. So does Kern. You have seen these around Icewind Dale. It is the best way to travel. I've seen a lot of people traveling with snow dog sleds, but they're a bit cumbersome in that you have to keep the dogs fed. X-Beaks are the best to get around. So Kern, do you get on X-Beak?
How high are they? What's their height about?
They're by D&D standards, they're a large sized. It'll take a little bit of effort to get up on it, being a shorter dwarf. But you see Theodore managed. Stello almost just strides atop of it easily enough. Theodore scrambles up the side to get on top. It'll be a little bit of a challenge to get up, but you could.
Could I use my Tinker's tools and just like jury like a ladder to climb on to an X-Beak?
Yes, you could. I think that's a fairly easy thing to do, to put a ladder on a side there, so no roll necessary.
And I'll do the same for Kurn as well. Kurn, sorry.
Do you have any advices how to handle those beasts?
Just be friendly to it. Don't be such a dickhead.
And do not flinch. They respect power. I think if you show hesitation, they bite at you.
And whatever you do not put any fingers into any of their orifices. They hate it.
Not just X-Beaks.
Sounds like good life advice. Tries with heavy-handed, tries to pull down the saddle and the gear, so that the X-Beak might lower his body.
The X-Beak doesn't, but actually make an animal handling check. That's your first roll of the game. Make an animal handling check there, Kern. Okay, one quick thing I'll just adjust about your character sheet is just make it so everybody can see your rolls. Auto damage. Okay, so that'll just show your rolls so everybody can see them. But what he rolled was an 18. So the axe-beak does actually bow its head and kind of lowers its legs a little bit, making it a lot easier for Curran to get up on. All right.
I'm sitting on top. Current sits on top of it, looks a little bit helpless, and now.
Not a typical dwarven way to get around, but as the axe-beaks start heading west, it's just so much easier. The creatures have wide, splayed toes, so their weight is distributed, and they can pretty much skirt across the top of it. And you think it's at least twice as fast as if you're walking. With that, the axe-beaks, they start heading west towards Angajuk's Bell. If there's anything you want to do in the meantime, otherwise it's going to take you 4 or 5 hours to get to the bell.
Kurn, don't be alarmed, but you see the bush that's riding on the Steel Defender on Snuggles?
Right. The thing that... Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So, say hello to Shrubby.
Hi! I'm Shrubby!
You see,
I take the empty mug and throw at it.
No, nice! Leave me alone! No! And Shrubby immediately goes into Shrubby's defensive routine, steps off Snuggles, and pretends to be a tree.
What foul magic is that?
It's you want to explain, Theodore? It's some druid stuff.
Well, we met a hag or a witch or something like that was turning animals into intelligent creatures and setting them against villagers and hunters and anyone that came anyone that came in the vicinity or something. But basically she wanted to get revenge for the death of her sister and wanted to harass the people of 10 towns. She even awakened a certain amphibious an amphibious dinosaur that was harassed. Yeah, fisherman at Mare de Waldon. But we managed to kill one of the awakened moose. Shrubby was saved. We also made a deal with the plesiosaurus. And now we're gonna get to see an awakened whale, which is, I think, the most interesting of those. Apart from Shrubby, of course. Shrubby's the best. Aren't you, Shrubby?
Shrubby's making like a tree. Not saying anything.
Well, Shrubby, you'll have to climb up on Snuggles if we want to leave. You want to get warm again soon, don't you?
Struggles. Shrubby shakes a little bit. If a tree could look suspiciously at a creature, it would be looking suspiciously at Curran. But Shrubby does uproot and gets on top of Snuggles.
Don't worry, he'll get used to it. He was just surprised.
So was I.
And by the way, I really need to take those colorful ribbons off of you, because even if you pretend to be a tree, the ribbons give you away.
Okay.
I'll take the ribbons off. Because it's a bad giveaway.
But at least you could pick Shrubby out of it was lost in the woods or something. It'd be a lot easier to spot. Or she, I'm not sure what gender Shrubby is, but Shrubby is Shrubby. Okay, so Shrubby gets back on the Steel Defender, this weird robotic scorpion, and you continue your way west.
We'll keep the ribbons though, Shrubby, for a festive occasion.
Okay. Okay, and you eventually make your way right to the coast of the Sea of Moving Ice. Some of you have maybe been out this way before. Perhaps Stella, you've come this way, and usually this is there's usually ice on the sea, but not nearly as much as there are now. Things that are clogged up like much of the 10 towns. But you do approach Angajuk's Bell. And why don't I just drag you over to the map so you can see what's happening. I just need to add Kern into there, so you're probably not seeing anything Kern, but that's be resolved. Actually, nobody can see anything.
Nobody
Let me
can
drag
see.
you all on. Sorry, I thought I already had this set up. The garage you should see now. Stacks, same. Theodore, same. Who did I put on? Stello.
Thank you.
And there is Snuggles. And there is Shrubby. So I assume you can all see now.
Yes.
Let me know if you can't. But what you do see is you see like it's a frozen pier. There's a rowboat stuck in the ice here, and there's some type of island thing over here. You just see at the end of your vision some type of outcropping there. And you just see over here there appears to be some type of platform with a bell on top of it. And there's a cabin over here as well. And that's all you see. So normally you'd assume you'd have to catch this boat to get over here. But that won't be necessary given that it's frozen over.
Stalo's lightning is off again.
I think so.
Oh,
Because he has no dark vision.
Yeah. If it's dark, I guess that explains it.
I'll just give you some vision. So it should be better, I suspect.
Yes.
So what do? Frozen boat, frozen pier, cabin over here, and a bell
Can I
that you can just
Look
see
into
over
the
here.
cabin.
Okay.
I knock first.
Okay. Well, you could knock, but there's the door is like bloated as if it's soaked up too much seawater, and dormant barnacles hang on the rusted hinges. Yeah. So it doesn't look as if it's been inhabited for a long, long time. But regardless,
okay, I just go inside that.
you just go in. Okay. Let me open that door for you. So inside of the cabin, not much immediately interested. It looks as if bits of it are frozen over. It looks as nobody has lived here for a long time, and thick rime coats the surfaces and objects inside of the cabin. There's a bed draped in a thick knit blanket. It all looks rotten once again, though. Rotten/frozen. There's a small hearth beside the bed and holds firewood, interestingly enough. But you get a closer look at the firewood, thinking, oh, this is an odd find, but the firewood is just infested with worms and have eaten away the best parts of the wood. I suspect you could use the wood to light a fire for maybe 3 days, but it's obviously been left here for a long time, enough that worms have eaten the best part of it, almost leaving the wood drier than when they started munching on it. Which is all this wood here at the back of the cabin.
Do I see anything out of place? Or
Make a perception check, Garrosh. 13. You have a look around, going through the firewood and the bed and everything that is rotten or covered in grime from when the sea was a bit more active than it is now, but no, nothing looks out of place.
All right, guys, there is like nothing of interest there. Just rotten wood.
Ern takes a look at the bell.
Okay, you'll have to wander across the ice to do that, but that is, of course...
Yeah, oh, sorry, I thought that was the compass. That was the bell, the compass on the left side, my bad.
So yeah, the bell is over here.
Can I check the ice to see if it's thick enough to hold?
Sure, you place your foot on it, and even without any type of check, it is solid. Much like the other lakes you've crossed by walking across the ice, it's perfectly safe to walk across.
All right. Guys, shall we just ring the bell, or...
Perhaps you might want to get your little friend here first, just to check if perhaps any sea monsters or other creatures are lurking underneath the ice.
Well, we are hoping that Angajuk's underneath the ice, but, well... can always check it. Theodore, could you send him first?
Sure. It's expendable. I guess it'll go scouting slowly, and if possible, stealthily.
You can roll a stealth for Snuggles if you like.
It's just a dex check. There's no special
Yeah, that's right.
bonus
So
for stealth.
So Snuggles, usually its claws would rattle against ice, but she does a pretty good job. So feel free to move Snuggles around. She's not falling through the ice. Nothing's jumped up and attacked her.
It'll climb over here on the, I guess it's like an iceberg or a little hill, and take a look around if it sees anything.
Have Snuggles make a perception check. Doesn't notice anything out of the ordinary. The ice is so thick that you really can't see below the ice.
It'll continue over to the other ice hill or whatever it is, and I guess take a look again. I guess it'll look into this opening if it notices anything.
So there is an opening in the ice there, as you can see. Snuggles, who wants to do the same perception check, looks down. Nothing of note.
Okay. Guess we'll continue around the opening, not too close, so it doesn't break the ice at the edge.
Mm-hmm.
And then go climb over here.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the bell, and I'll tell it to ring the bell. See what happens.
Okay, the bell rings out. Yeah. Little sound effect for that. So, yep, the bell is rung. Snuggles waits for a minute or two. Nothing happens.
I'll call it back to me, and I guess it'll come back over the ice.
Mm-hmm.
It seems safe, Theodore, doesn't it?
Does look like it. I could take the ice can take the average person. It can take most of our weight. we shouldn't group up probably, because just spread out the weight. And what do we want to do? Do we want to go as far across the ice as possible, or does anybody have any other plans?
I've learned to transform myself into a walrus if it comes up. Case.
Sure, but you can do that in case of emergency.
Yes.
Probably it's probably not necessary right now. Okay. Let me go first, because I'm the lightest, and then maybe Stax follows, or Shrubby, and so on and so on.
Okay.
And
Yep, the ice seems perfectly safe as you walk across it.
okay, and I'll go towards the bell as well.
Okay.
And I'll inspect it to see what it's all about, if there's anything special about it.
The bell, it's about a 1 foot diameter copper bell. It's kind of dangling from a pole there. And the bell comes with a rope and a clapper thing. So, yeah. It's a big bell, and the your friendly neighborhood automaton thing rang it. What do you do?
I'm gonna wait till the others are a bit further away from this hole in the ice before I ring it. I don't want anything jumping out and grabbing them. Okay, I'll ring it now that Stella moved away.
Okay. Let me just check something.
Actually, I'll do something else, since I'm a tinker.
Sure.
I'm gonna put a rope or a twine onto the bell, and bring the twine with me to the shore, and I'll tell Stella and Shrubby to get back to the shore. And I'll say I can ring it from the shore. We don't have to be there. And I'll ring it like 3 times for.
Okay. You ring it 3 times. Nothing obvious happens.
Oh well.
But then after about a minute or so, you hear some squawking sounds, like and you look around. Everybody make me a perception check. Oh, nice. Good enough. Garrosh, you're looking around and paying attention to everything, apart from the thing that you really should have been paying attention to. But from the sky, descending directly for you, you see these giant bird-like creatures, and they're in a dive bomb formation, just going straight towards the ice, seemingly attracted by the noise of the bell. So, I'm going to get you guys to roll initiative. So the easiest way, Kern, to roll initiative is if you click on your token. Make sure you click on your token first. Then at the top of the screen, you should see a thing that says "in it." If you click on that, it should roll your initiative for you. There you go. Wow.
Because you're either in it or you're not.
Not in it. Okay. Those.
Oh, I
Okay.
see. It automatically ordered the turn order.
Yep. That's only if you click your token first will it go in the turn order. We're missing somebody though. Who are we missing?
Garrosh and Stax. No, Stax is on.
Just Garrosh.
Oh, Shrubby. We're also missing Shrubby.
There we go.
Got Shrubby.
That's everybody. Okay, so you look up, and these huge birds are squawking and just absolutely dive bombing you. Garrosh, you are surprised. They were kind of trying stealthing from above.
Can you just reorder the turn order again, so Snuggles is right behind me?
Yep, just 1 second. And this is what the creatures look like. And no, they don't have riders as it shows in the artwork. Okay, reorder that. So Stax, these things are still... Let's have a look. They're still up in the air a little bit. Let's see how far I are up there. A good 30 feet when you spot them, and they're dive bombing you. What do you do, Stax?
Stax sees them coming and just very carefully takes out her bow, takes out an arrow, steadies her breath, and bonus action steady aim, and take a shot at it with advantage.
Yep, but you can't move.
Nope.
Okay, so with advantage, it'll be sneak attack if you hit. Dex brings, so you bring back your bow, look at this giant bird, locks it out, and it gets it right in the side of the neck. And it squalls and it starts carting around a little bit. You've grievously wounded it, but it is still alive, and it turns its beady little eyes directly on you, Stax.
That's my turn.
Okay. Speaking of giant birds, this one comes dive bombing straight for you, Theodore. It gets its talons and it reaches out its talons and tries to claw you, but it rolls a 13, which doesn't hit still. So it goes and you dodge to the side. Kern, you've never seen something like this before, and frightened by it. As it misses with its talons, it tries to swipe you with its beak. Comes back trying to bite you right on the head and misses again. But it does swoop up over here, 30 feet in the air over here. But Theodore and Kern, you can make attack of opportunities if you like.
I don't have any melee weapons. Unless I can hit him with my Tinker's Tools as an improvised weapon.
You can try and punch it.
Sure, why
Okay.
not?
I'll hit it with my hand axe.
Okay. Are you familiar with Roll20, by the way, Kern, or do I need to explain stuff as we go?
I'm a bit. I haven't used in quite a while.
Okay, well, you've successfully used your hand axe, so that was good. I'm not sure why you're rolling strength, but I'm assuming that you kind of go, at this giant bird and miss. But Kern, as it goes by, you more or less hold up your hand axe and the bird pulls across it and you tear a bit out of its belly for 5 slashing damage. Still alive. Shrubby, what does Shrubby do?
Shrubby is gonna look at the giant bird in front of him, and he's gonna use his bonus action to help. He's gonna try to distract it and start just screaming and dancing and twirling about. And for his action, he's gonna dodge.
Okay. So I'll give whoever attacks this vulture next with the plus sign is going to get advantage. As the giant bird-like creature, well, not super intelligent, is pretty sure that trees don't walk. Trees don't walk. Stello! You see Stax and Theodore trying to do some stuff, but not so successfully. What you got?
Stello is gonna use his action to disengage and move a bit north.
You don't need to disengage. This creature is 30 feet in the air.
Okay, in that case I'm just 10, 15, 20 over here. Bonus action Starry Form. And a bowstring of starlight and stars forms on his staff, and he's The right eye is glowing like a star. He's gonna take a shot at the closest bird. Let's see. There it is.
Okay, so
With advantage.
yes, with advantage. Could be a natural 20, but it's not. So you see Stello doing his star form. Seemingly from nowhere, brings out an arrow, shoots it. Once again, it strikes true and sinks into the belly of this beast. That would be the advantage from Shrubby. Garrosh.
Oh,
Can I reach
by the way,
any of them?
sorry. For my action, I could dodge.
Okay.
Sorry.
Can I reach any of them, or are they too far?
They're all 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, I need to learn to fly, I guess. Oh, yeah, I cannot jump that high. No, that's okay, so I guess I'll shout at them. Super obnoxious, and like I wave around, and then because they do nothing, I throw a hand axe on one of them.
Okay, I think this will be a disadvantage. I think hand axe has a range of 30.
You can also ready an attack. Like move over here.
Yeah,
towards
that's not a bad idea. So I made this ruckus, and I just prepare for them to attack me. And once they come close enough, I attack.
Okay, very good.
Just reading it. That's it.
Okay, so this one comes down and swoops towards Stax. So this indeed triggers your attack of opportunity to Garrosh, so swing away. So Stax, you know you pissed off this giant creature and its diving bomb. You've already taken it out with one of your arrows and it's about to come through. From the side, Garrosh comes and cleaves this creature in two. And it lands and you're covered in feathers and what should be the inside of the bird. Covered in a lot of bird gook, but you survived. The creature goes down. This next one is not going to attack a tree, but is going to dive bomb at Kern. Comes at you with its beak, trying to snatch you up. Rolls an 8 and misses terribly. Comes at you with your talons and rolls a 12, which I believe is not enough. And then it flies away over here, 30 feet in the air. And Theodore and Kuhn, you do not get an attack of opportunity this time, since you already burned your action. But Theodore, what do you do?
How far in the air is this one now?
30.
Okay, then I'll just move over here next to Snuggles. And I'll ready an attack with the Torn Whip if any of these two come into range. If they come within 30 feet.
Okay, and Snuggles?
Snuggles will move between Kern and me, and that's pretty much it.
Kern, despite your terrible initiative roll, you still get a round. What do you got?
Kern looks at the giant vulture that just attacked him, and he casts a vicious mockery. Come down here, you prepared turkey for dinner.
Okay. So that's a wisdom save. Got a +1 to this, and it rolls a 9. So it takes 1 point of psychic damage.
And has disadvantage on this next attack roll.
Nice. So I'll put a little minus there to remember that. Okay, and do you stay where you are, Kurt?
Yep.
Okay. Stacks.
First off, I'm just gonna look to the side to Garrosh. Say, sweet. Then I'm gonna take out another arrow and take a shot at which one of the vultures looks worse, more damaged?
About the same.
Then I'll just take a shot at the closest one,
Okay.
steadying my breath again.
So steady shot. Yep. 13 points of damage. Nice. Yeah, Stacks, you steady yourself, you pull back there, let it go, and it goes right through the neck of the bird, and it collapses and falls to the ground. And despite being a rather large bird, it does land heavily on the ice. Thankful to everybody, it does not crack, however.
Well, that's my turn.
Okay. The giant vulture, this one over here, sees its companions falling, and it's going to fly 60 feet this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then takes the dash action and takes off this way. Do any of you guys intend to shoot it from a distance? Or just let it go?
Nah, Stacks is fine. It's just a bird.
Yeah.
I think the Stacks would be the only person who could hit it anyway. The Stack doesn't. Okay. So, what do you guys do?
I'll tell Snuggles to drag this corpse to the shore.
I guess we eat bird tonight. And
We
I
do.
throw my bow and to grab a knife and start plucking, collecting the smaller, softer feathers to probably make a pillow or something.
I'll assist.
And start carving away.
Okay, as you start carving into it, as you want to do, even before you make any progress, you see 5 figures approaching. They don't appear overly threatening or anything, but they are getting closer. There's 5 of them. What do you
What
guys
do they
do?
look like?
What
do
direction are they approaching from?
You drag her over to the map just briefly. They're approaching from... draw a line. From this direction.
Okay, southeast.
And,
They look like the hunters.
make a perception check. Oh, you get a closer look at them. 2 things you discover. Yes, they are hunters. No, they are not the hunters you saw before. The other interesting thing is they seem to be carrying some barrels, about 4 barrels. One of them is not carrying a barrel. The other ones are carrying 4 barrels. Not like casks, like barrels maybe a foot high, something like that. That's what you get for a natural 20.
Wave them over.
Okay, they see you wave, and one guy waves his hand, and they approach. And as they get close, you see they are 4 humans. As I said, they are carrying 4 casks / barrels with them. And one of the guys approach. It looks like an older guy, even through his winter clothes. You can see some grey hair as his eyebrows are greying. Obviously an elderly gentleman. He says, "Hi, friends. My name is Gendron. Who do I have the pleasure of meeting on this cold day?"
Pleased to meet you. My name is Stelwood. These are my friends and compatriots. Who are you, Mr. Gundren?
Oh, well,
Gendron.
my name is Gendron Earth. Well, to be perfectly honest, I didn't expect to see anybody out here. What? Maybe you guys looked like you could be businessmen and perhaps interested in maybe helping us out in a little business proposition I have.
What kind of business opportunity?
Well, This blunted winter is, well, it's left all of us a little short-handed, shall we say. And, tell me, have you guys ever heard of something called ambergris? Ambergris.
Hamburgers.
almost. And not hamburgers.
Have you?
Can we make a history check or something?
You can make a nature check. Theodore, you had I as a native English speaker, I have not heard of ambergris either, says Malcolm. But what ambergris is it's a precious substance that forms in sperm whale's stomach and is typically harvested from a dead whale's remains. Although it smells foul when initially exposed to air, the scent grows sweet over time. As such, ambergris is incredibly popular among perfumers and very, very valuable stuff. So, we'll pick it up from there. So, have you ever heard of ambergris? It sounds like hamburgers, doesn't it? Ambergris.
Well, we've heard of it. I've never had the pleasure of smelling the final product, but I hear it's very coveted.
It's well.
And this is what you're after.
Yes, I'm sure you've heard the rumors of the whale here. So, tell you what I can do. Me and my friends here, we have a plan to get this whale, and if you help us out, we'll cut you in on the take. You see these barrels of oil here? What we're gonna do, we're gonna take the oil, put it inside here, and hopefully choke that damn whale out. At which point we'll attack it, harvest what we can, but it's paying a special attention to the ambergris, which we can get a pretty penny for. So what do you say? We'll cut you in on the deal.
Would you gentlemen excuse us while we deliberate in private? It sounds interesting.
Good idea. We need to talk about it.
And while we're out of earshot, I'll say we're not here to actually kill the whale, are we? I mean, it's awakening. It's intelligent.
Yeah, that seems. Yeah.
It seems counterproductive. We want to write, not kill it.
Exactly.
We are honest folk, right? So we just tell them to kindly get the F off. And if they don't, well, we have some nice free whale oil that they just given us. And equipment, because they'll be dead.
Will you do the talking?
If you wish.
Tell them the whale is under our protection.
What do you
Just
think?
tell them to what you think is best, Garrosh. I think you should take lead in this one.
Good.
Karen, you said you had some business with the whale. How does this align with your objectives?
I have not gotten a lot of intel on the whale. It was just that I was given the name and that I have... Perhaps he can lead me forwards. So I'm more inclined to have him alive than dead.
Indeed.
Good. Okay, I think we are agreed. I turn back and walk with everyone back to the hunters.
So I assume we have a deal? We'll split it 50-50 between the parties.
Well, let's say it this way. I'll make you a deal you can't refuse. You'll turn around, leave the oil here, walk away, and you live. What do you think about that?
Gendron turns to his four companions and kind of chuckles and comes straight up into your face, Garrosh, and starts jabbing you right in the chest. Listen, you damn dirty half-orc. We are taking this. I suggest you get out of our way. Starts poking you right in the chest.
He doesn't like that.
I give him how do you say? I hit him with my forehead in his head.
You headbutt him.
Yes, I
Within-
headbutt him.
Okay. Make an attack roll. Just do a normal melee attack with something else, with anything.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I assume you don't have headbutt on your character sheet.
Unfortunately, I didn't think about it. Next time.
You're proficient in headbutts.
You know. I guess I add my strength.
Yeah. So just say D20 plus strength. You can do it that way as well if you like. You go
Plant
to,
a gentle kiss on him.
you reach back and headbutt. You get the impression that Gendron's been in a few bar fights and sees it coming, and he says, once again, I suggest you leave.
Okay, now I'm embarrassed, really.
So are we. Awkward.
So get out of here. Take your damn dirty dwarves and elves with you.
We are not getting anywhere. You are getting out of here. And I mean, next time, I'm not going to be so gentle with you.
Can make an intimidation check if you like, Stello.
Yeah, he still plays cards.
And he starts poking you in the chest. I wasn't kidding. Get the hell out.
Upon hearing Dirty Dwarf, I cast Dissonant Whisper on him.
Okay, very good. And by the way, Theodore, when he said dirty dwarf, he pointed at you as well. He pointed at Kern and he pointed at Theodore. Just so you know. Okay, well...
And Kern probably took more insult that the little gnome was... he was compared with the little gnome.
Okay, I'm just going to move these guys around a bit. It's not as though they're standing in a convenient straight line, so they're kind of like this. Gendron was jabbing Garrosh in the chest, so we'll put Gendron right there. Maybe this guy over here. Okay, and... okay. Click the button on Skyrim's site that is fighting the hunters. And if only you guys had a charismatic companion. Holy.
Or shoot it ping.
Okay, who are we missing? We're missing Garrosh.
Me as
Robbie.
well. I'm reloading as well.
Okay, I'll roll you in then if that's alright.
Oh, yeah. I had to reload as well. No, I'm good.
Okay, so we have...
Oh, now it loaded my Pathfinder game. Ugh, I'll be right there.
Okay. Well, I rolled you an 8, so... Let me down the order a little
That's
bit.
fine.
And I'll add Shrubby in as well, but make him go just after you. Oh, Snuggles, sorry, Snuggles.
How much time has passed since we killed the vultures?
Since you killed the...
Birds.
Oh, not long at all. 10 minutes.
You know, Kern had to get used to an X-Speak, had to get cozy with a group of people he's not really familiar to and from races that are not kind to him. I think his patience today is at an end. There is no diplomacy today.
Well, Stax, how undiplomatic are you?
Stax will bonus action disengage
Okay.
and just walk onto the ice over here and not shoot straight away, but I believe this is the leader talking to Garrosh. But prepare an action for the moment. The fighting really starts to shoot this one.
Okay. Actually, since Kern started this, I'm going to give Kern a surprise round at the start. So, Kern, you kind of initiated this. You get to act first. What do you do?
And I will, with my, as I stated, I will cast Dissonant Whisper.
Okay. On the leader?
That's what. Yeah, on Genrin.
Yeah.
And
up. Yep.
tell him basically that he should get out there.
And that's a wisdom save?
Yes.
Okay, so for his wisdom save, he rolls natural 7. So I assume that fails. What happens with
Yes.
this?
He basically takes 3d6.
Okay.
So 13 psychic damage.
13.
I've rolled it on top before we wrote initiative.
Oh, I see. Let me scroll back up. Oh, I see. DC 13 psychic damage. Okay, got it.
And on a failed save, he must use his reaction, if available, to move as far as his speed allows away from me.
So you are there. And have him dash all the way over here to the edge of the map. What the hell? He starts shaking his head. No, no, no. And dashes over here. And,
Do I get opportunity attack?
well, forced movement doesn't get an attack of opportunity. Is this forced?
Doesn't say so in the description. It must use reaction immediately, so you might.
Yeah, if it must move, then that's a type
Yeah.
of forced movement. So I'm going to say no attack of opportunity. Okay, so Gendrin rushes off to the side, holding his head. A little bit of blood even starts to trickle down the side of his ears. Stax, feel free to retroactively do what you want to do.
Well, I do this exact same thing.
Okay.
Because this is a type of magic I do not fully understand.
Oh yeah, why does he run away with bleeding ears? That's weird.
Yeah.
Garrosh.
I just want to follow him basically.
Okay.
So I run towards the one that is in the way, and I quickly slash him twice.
Okay, which one? The one to the south? Okay. He says, "Come at me, half-orc. What you got?" And you slash into this guy, and his bravado suddenly leaves him as he takes 22 points of damage. Ouchies. You're half a thug now. And you just carve him twice across the chest, and even through his deep, dark, heavy furs, you see the blood start to pool underneath his chest. I'll take you down if it's the last thing I do, orc. Shrubby.
Shrubby is gonna, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. Bonus action help by kicking the thug in its knees. And scream and dance a bit, and he's gonna use an action to dodge.
To dodge. Okay, very good. So, Shrubby, this is getting weirder and weirder for Kern, I imagine, as this, as this shrub starts kicking people. Stello!
I wish I had my ale.
Let's see, I'm gonna save my wild shape, since I think my starry shape I used is spent.
I'm gonna take my pinewood staff in my shield hand and retrieve my big knife. And I'll move 5, 10, 15, 20 down here and attack the same tug that Garrosh attacked with my knife. Non-lethally, if possible.
Okay. 11 does it.
Oh, okay.
These 3 guys are dressed in leathers. 5 points of damage. Now this guy is looking worried. He figured he might be able to take on the half-orc, but now there's something even bigger than the half-orc. And he's looking around, his eyes are darting around, not sure what to do. But Curran, man, I rolled terrible for these guys' initiative. My goodness. Curran, you're up. Curran?
Sorry.
Sorry.
I muted myself. I jump 10 feet behind and I will cast on... Can you see my pings?
Yep.
This guy, this guy, and this guy. I will cast Bane.
Ooh, nice. Hey, the wisdom save, I believe?
It is.
Charisma.
Charisma.
Take.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Rolled a 10, a 16, and a 6. So I believe that's 2 failures. So we'll say this guy here is... do have a Bane symbol here. Is baned. And we'll say this guy here is baned. Nice! Okay. And you'll notice on your token there's a little concentration thing, because you need to concentrate on Bane. So if you get hit, you might lose it. But yeah, those guys are baned. Well done, nice. And do you stay there, Kieran?
I stay there.
Okay, finally, I get a turn. This guy here notices you casting a spell. It is going to ignore the tree. Though the tree can't... oh, no, the tree doesn't get an attack of opportunity. Just skirts around the outside. It says, never met a dwarf I liked. And brings back
Was
this...
that the leader?
No. This is the leader over here.
Okay. Didn't see him anymore.
He dashed off to the side. So this guy brings up his mace. It says, I'll crush you, dwarf. Mashes. Oh, well done. Take your first hit. So the mace smacks right into your face and takes 8 points of damage.
1 second. Before it hits, I wanted to use cutting words, but I can't see your rolls. And cutting words needs me to see a roll on it.
Okay, well, he rolled a 15.
Yeah, I use cutting words.
Okay, don't know why I have this set up, but do that. Okay, so what do you say?
Back in line, thug.
What are you talking about? And the mace crashes down to the side of the snow debris in it. But he brings it back and says, you'll have to do better than that, dwarf. And swings again with his mace for a second attack. And this one does hit with a 15.
Yes.
For 8 points of bludgeoning damage. He just cracks you right across the side of the face, and you feel a tooth loosen. It doesn't come out. It says, you dwarves have always been cowards. Theodore.
On concentration, what?
Oh, yes, sorry.
There?
So you need to make a Constitution saving throw, DC 10.
Yes.
Okay, you're fine. By the way, you start off with a DM inspiration. You see the little thing flashing on and off on your character sheet?
Yes.
Yeah. So that means basically you can re-roll a d20 for saving throw. Anytime you roll a d20, you can re-roll it after you've seen it, is how I roll it. And if you do something cool, I'll give you an inspiration. But you can start with a point of inspiration to re-roll stuff. Okay.
Right. Thanks.
Okay. So regardless, you see Theodore, Kern, and this guy in a battle. The guy clocks Kern right across the side of the face. What does Theodore do?
I will move behind Kern. and cast Bless on myself, Kern, and Garrosh.
Okay.
Don't you dare touch that book on my back.
It's not the book I'm touching.
Oh, I can feel it.
So Kern, Theodore, and who is the other one? Garrosh?
Garrosh, yes.
Okay. Now one thing I'll quickly do for Kern is... oops. Go. Yes. So this will just make your life slightly easier, Kern. This will come up again. Notice that below where it says Vicious Mockery, there's a thing that says Global Attack Modifier Bless.
Yes.
Do you want to click on the little tick box?
Alright.
And just for an example, attack with your hand axe, just to show what it does.
Alright, I see it.
Yep.
Great.
And I'll do the same thing for your saving throws, because that's also, you also get blessed for your saving throws. So, make a charisma saving throw. Same thing. Okay.
Okay.
So just
Great.
tick that box on and off when you're blessed, because
Alright.
the hardest thing in D&D to remember is that you are blessed. It's an advanced level of skill to remember that. Okay, so bless goes off.
I can't promise that I will remember that because it's the hardest thing to remember.
It
All
is.
Kern has to do is look down into his pants and he knows he's blessed.
And everybody feels
All
the energy entering them, and boom, Snuggles.
Snuggles will move over here next to Kern and attack the Tug that's next to him.
I believe that's added. Why has he got a plus there?
Because of the
Shrubby.
help action from
Oh
Shrubby.
yeah. So at advantage. 25 definitely hits. Plus 6 points of damage to the thug. Okay. Okay,
And
so
that's our turn.
okay, so this guy, he's not feeling great, but he made a promise. He said I was going to take you down half orc if it's the last thing I do.
Oh, by the way, didn't Stax have like a ready action?
Yeah, but
yeah.
it was specified for Yandran Uroth, the leader.
Okay.
So this guy swings over here, and he's going to attack Garrosh. That's going to get advantage from pack tactics. Yep. And this guy over here picks up a piece of snow and throws it in your eye, Garrosh. Ah, damn it. As you can't quite see, and that's going to give this guy advantage with his mace attacks. First attack, 22. Which will hit
Lands.
for 3 damage, and the second mace
Oh,
attack
no.
misses. That's a terrible roll.
And riposte. I'm attacking back
Ah,
as
okay.
a reaction.
Cool. Don't forget your bliss.
And I'm leaning in my Great Weapon Mastery.
Ooh, this could be messy. So an 18, all adjusted plus. Oh yeah, that's your bless and your greatsword mastery all accounted for. Yep, so 2 and then a minus. Okay, great. So 18 definitely hits for
26.
wow. So that was your D8 superiority dice plus your great weapon mastery for 13.
Yeah, it's all complete. It's complex, but it's all
Yeah,
there.
it looks good to me, and holy shit. And this guy is saying, I'm going to take you down half hook as the last thing I do. And turns out it was the last thing I do. What do you explain how you do 26 points of damage to this human Garrosh?
As he attacks me, I clean the snow from my eyes. I take the hit, but it almost doesn't do anything to me. And then when he tries the next time, I'm prepared, and I just literally lean on my greatsword. He is in the momentum, and he can't avoid the terrible hit, and it pierces him through, and he starts like coughing blood, and before he falls on the ground, he's dead.
Nice. Did you take your 3 points of damage, by the way?
I'll do it.
Okay, great. Okay, so that wasn't even on your turn. Nice. So that was... sorry, 1 second. I did that slightly out of order. Oh, no, that yes. And now the baned one is going to see his friend fall. He's going to try and attack Garrosh. I know he's baned, but there's no real automatic way for a GM to mark it as baned, but we'll see what happens. But he comes down at you with his mace. Whack! 18. Let's roll a d4.
Is he gonna move first?
No, this guy here.
Yeah, but Garrosh is over here.
Oh, sorry, Stello. Whatever I said, he's attacking Stello.
Yeah, that is.
No, I don't think it does. With the Bane, 18 minus 2 becomes 16. So, yeah, thanks, the Bane. Such a great spell. Attacks again with his mace, and even without the Bane, it's going to miss. But that was a 12 to hit. So he hits you, but he's God damn, I'm just not feeling it.
I'm telling you to get out of here.
And this baned thug is going to swing right up here, next to right there. And the guy's going to do the same tactic. This one's going to get some snow, throws it in Kern's eye. So this guy's going to have advantage. We'll see if it hits, then we'll take Bane into account. But with advantage, it's a 14, which might hit. Let's see about the Bane. 12.
It doesn't. It does. It hits my armor class, 12.
Then
yes.
Snuggles will do the deflect attack.
Okay, what does that do again?
Gives him disadvantage, so I guess it's just a straight roll.
So he was rolling at advantage, but disadvantage gives him an attack roll. So let's just say it's a plain old miss. Yeah, on the attack roll. So I think he could probably only do that once. So Snuggles gets in the way, puts up the tail and just deflects the mace at the last instant. And then the mace comes down again at advantage. I think that's going to hit regardless. 19 down to 16. So it clunks right into Kern and does a total of 4 points of bludgeoning damage. You'll go down, dwarf. You will die this day. Oh, yep. Good. Yep. With the blitz, see, it comes in useful. So 14.
Yes.
This guy here, the leader, he gathers himself, cursing himself for rolling a natural 1 for initiative. Comes charging around to the side of the cabin, and goes for Stello.
And just before he attacks, I will attack him.
Sure. Okay. This guy comes charging around here, and just as he comes out from the other side of the cabin, and just as this guy is preparing to throw snow in his eyes, Stax comes from nowhere. The guy slides to a heap in a bloody pool in front of you, Garrosh. Well done, Stax. Well, this guy's the world's worst leader. He runs away, he runs back, and just gets massacred by the sneaky elf. Speaking of the sneaky elf, what does the sneaky elf do? Because Gendron doesn't get a turn.
Just a small look to Garrosh like, I've got your back. And then...
Never fun with him, come on. It's cheating.
You've got one left. I'm gonna take a shot at this one. Steady my aim beforehand.
Yep, because that was your readied action, so yes, you absolutely. 25, 16 points of damage, so seemingly out of nowhere again, Stax fires it off. It goes into the back of the thug, and he reaches back and pulls out the air, and a big spurt of blood covers the ground. Some of it landing on Shrubby. Is that your turn, Stax?
Yep, that's it.
Garrosh! Thugs are falling around you. There's 3 left. What do you do?
Yeah, I just walk around the dead one and tell this guy. So didn't you change your mind? And I attack him.
Okay. Okay, so swinging your mighty greatsword. That hits, especially with the blessed. 10 points of slashing damage. Dirty orcs!
That's it.
Okay, cool. Shrubby. MVP.
Shrubby, I guess is gonna try to do the same tactic on the closest one.
Okay.
Help with bonus action and dodge action.
Got it. Stello.
Stella's gonna attack the closest thug, I guess. And just say, look around you. Are you gonna stay here and die like the rest of your friends?
You're not giving him a chance.
Yeah, I was going to say you can use an action to try and do that, but actually nothing really happens with that. But he does take 8 points of slashing damage right across the chest. Groans in pain. Kern! Assuming that's your turn, Stello?
Yep.
I'll take my hand axe and chop at the one directly in front of me, so this guy.
Yeah, so advantage thanks to Shrubby. 16 hits for 6 slashing damage. Nice.
And after my hit, I drop the bane, look at the other thug, last chance. Drop it now.
Okay, let me get this. Okay, the thug looks around and he looks at you and said, I never liked dwarves, and reaches back into his throat, spits blood in your face, and then takes off running this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you like, Kern, Shrubby, and even Snuggles can take an attack of opportunity.
Shrubby's gonna try to him.
Snuggles used his reaction to deflect attack.
Okay, cool.
I
Shrubby!
Oh,
That's 2 points of damage, because it does 1 naturally. Yeah, it's just 2 points of damage. Thug survives. Are you going to attack Kern?
Nope, I will hold him.
Okay, so that spits in your face, comes off. Shrubby miraculously gets a nice hit in. Not her speciality. Takes off. Theodore.
I'm gonna cast Torn Whip at this guy and pull him back if I hit.
Okay. So,
Roll away. No, come back.
does hit.
I'll pull him the whole 10 feet back.
Okay, you're pulling back a corpse, and you leave a bloody trail on the ground. He had 2 hit points left. He has 0 hit points. Yep, so there's a red bloody streak behind him. There we go. Just messy. Okay, Theodore. Yep, Snuggles.
Snuggles will attack the guy next to him.
Okay. Uh, 12 does hit. 7 force damage. Okay, you see this guy is looking wild-eyed. He's seen what happened to this guy. And he looks as if he wants to not be here anymore. So let's see what in fact he does do. That guy's dead. That This guy is going to attack Stello twice. Not with advantage this time. We'll see if the Bane comes into effect. Well, that's going to miss. That's going to miss. And then takes off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Garrosh and Stello, you know what to do if you want.
Run.
Attacks of opportunity if you want.
No,
Nope.
not for me at least.
Okay. This guy is gonna take a swipe at Shrubby.
No.
Yeah, even though Shrubby's dodging, so this will be a disadvantage. Oh man! Oh man! Oh! He swings at Shrubby, goes wide, swings so hard and so wide that he misses his feet with 2 natural 1s, and he falls prone on his back, and the wind is knocked out of him. I'll just take him 1 point of damage for the wind knocked out of him, and he's lying on the ground saying, "Oh, I can't even have a damn tree!" Wow. I really attacked Shrubby, but yeah, that dodge action came into play. So this guy's on his back. Stacks. You see one guy fleeing, one guy trying to flee, and for some reason a guy's on his back trying to catch his breath. What do you do?
And another guy just got dragged back by a thorn whip, and
Yep. Yeah,
I'm just gonna take that as a hint. We're not letting anyone go, so this one is gonna get an arrow, hopefully in the neck. Of course, with steady aim again.
Mm-hmm.
I took an arrow to the knee.
So steady aim is a bonus action, is that right?
Yeah, bonus action, and I can't move the entire
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah. So, yeah. So this guy was trying to run. Beck's got him. He too dies here. Slides along, also leaving a trail of blood behind him. Apparently you are taking no prisoners, so Stack stuck. Garrosh, you see, yeah, the only one. Well, they're all actually on the ground now, but one of them appears to still be breathing. What you got?
Well, I'm not fighting anymore.
That's fine. This guy's still alive though. He's on the ground prone. It's up to you.
Well, we can have a talk with him. But I don't know. What do we want to tell him? Like,
Perhaps what he knows about the way, or how they wanted to get him.
Does anybody plan to kill this guy? If not, we can just get out of initiative order.
I prefer capturing him.
Okay. Shrubby is technically controlled by you, but I'm going to have him do something. He's going to try and kick this creature. Get advantage.
At advantage.
Yeah, advantage because it's prone. 18 does hit. 1 point of damage.
Instead of kicking, he could just whip people with his branches. That hurts.
And he's going to kick again. And misses.
Shrubby, stop. We need to talk to him.
He tried to hit me.
I know. And we hit him back several times.
hey, calm down.
Shrubby goes
okay.
over here and pretends to be a tree, which he excels at.
You did good, Shrubby. You're a good little tree.
I'll go over to him and give him one of the ribbons back onto his just for the meantime till you calm down.
Shrubby breathes heavily. I'm not sure how well trees breathe heavily, but you see his leaves shaking.
He photosynthesizes a lot.
He just excels at that. Okay. So you have 4 dead humans and 1 on the ground who's looking around panicked. This is all Gendron's idea. Just let me go in peace. Won't breathe a word of this. And he stands up.
No, not until you answer some questions.
Sure. Tell you whatever I know.
What were your plans with the whale? How were you gonna get to him?
Well, we're gonna throw the oil in the hole over here, and hopefully drive the whale to the surface and then slaughter it. Thought we explained this already.
Why would the oil attract him?
Because whales need to come up to breathe, and we polluted the water, so it'll be annoyed by that.
Okay. And have you ever seen this whale before?
No, but we heard rumors that if you ring the bell, it'll come.
Oh, is there any special way to ringing the bell?
You hold the rope and swing it. Turns out we're not dealing with masterminds here. Look, if it's all the same to you, I'm just gonna go head back to Bremen. No hard feelings. He starts hitting.
With that attitude, the only place you're going is hell. So
Well,
you're still answering our questions.
I knew my soul was headed there long ago, so that threat means nothing to me.
Ooh, you sold your soul?
The things I've done. Yeah. Anyway,
Do you want to talk about it?
Do whales eat thugs? Maybe we could use him as a bait.
Oh no! Everybody knows whales eat only small fishes, so that's fine. Anyway, what are your damn questions? I need to go.
Anyone else want to question him?
Yeah, he seems like an unsavory sort. He'd be on his way and perhaps try to learn something from this. You say you're headed for the 9 hells, but there's always second opportunities in life.
Oh, I guess. I mean, I haven't visited my mother for a long time. Do you think I should visit her?
Yes, do that.
For sure. First thing, I'll visit my old mum.
Inside check.
Sure, inside. Yep. Oh, that was the 14 there, Stello. Just 1 second. No, he's not going to visit his mum. In your opinion?
What you say?
In your opinion, Stello, this fine young gentleman is not going to go visit his mother.
I'm going to press further on with my imposing stature and loom over him and say, no, you listen to us. You go see your dear mother and you apply yourself, young gentleman.
Make an intimidation check. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, definitely visit my mum. You're right. It's the right thing to do. It's time to turn over a new leaf.
Yes.
At this point, Stax has just sneaked up behind him and saying to his ear, and just as a reminder,
What the fuck?
your friends were killed by Yeti. If we ever hear a word about this, I will find you.
Gareth does Yeti.
Okay. Yeah, Yeti's called my companions. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Understood. I'll be off.
Good.
And then when he gets about there, he just starts off running and takes off.
We could have taken his money.
We're not
But we're
robbers.
not
Stella, are
bandits.
you sure he's not going to tell?
I mean, who's going to care? The word of a bandit versus, we were in the right here, were we not? We protected an ancient creature that means a lot to the people of the Dales.
Just decide quickly. You're still in bow shot for a
Oh,
few
yeah.
seconds.
Yep.
Come on, half the 10 downers are murderers or thieves. Nobody's gonna care.
Okay. Well,
So,
then I'll better
back
get
to the
back to
whale.
skinning the birds.
I'll go through the. Actually, I'll take 10 minutes to cast detect magic just to see if I detect anything in the vicinity.
Okay.
I'll help with the skinning and cast guidance as well. And stacks.
Sure. So make your survival check at advantage with a D4 on top of that. Okay, what is it? Oh, even better. Okay, yeah, you get a good skins off all the vultures, no problem at all. And on, I assume you're searching the thugs to see what they have. Well, they have the 4 flasks of oil. They have, well, they all have a mace and a heavy crossbow, which they never used. And amongst them you find 8 gold pieces, 12 silver, 36 copper. Apart from that, they're just wearing simple leather armor and a mace and a heavy crossbow. So feel free to take any of those if you want them.
If anybody wants to use anything, take it. Otherwise, I'll put the rest into the bag of holding.
I'll take the maces. I can use them as throwing weapon.
Sure.
Okay.
I guess I'll put 4 leather armors and 4 heavy crossbows into the bag of holding, right?
Okay, easy enough to do. Okay, I think this will be a good place to take a short break. So let's just reconvene in 5 minutes or so. Sound good?
Sure.
Okay, short break.